Hello again, and thank you for tuning in with us on Fix, Set, Sell. We are going to take you through an after walkthrough of this home that we talked about, that we had taken over the listing, and we have had marvelous results since we have done so. I think you remember me saying we had 58 days of this home on the market before we took it over with 3 showings. And in the first 2 days, we had 5 appointments for showings made. We've had 2 offers on this home, and it has currently just barely fallen out of contract, so it is back on the market and up for grabs. We are excited to be doing an open house in conjunction with Fix.Set, Sell and Coldwell Banker this morning on this property in Farmington. So let's talk a little bit about this front porch area. As you recall from our before walkthrough, there was nothing on this porch, so there really wasn't anything interesting pulling us towards the front door or inviting us, saying, come on, come in. We've had pumpkins out here, we had all kinds of things for Halloween, and we've toned it down now to fit in more to the holiday genre of Thanksgiving, which is next week and right around the corner. So come on in and let's see what we've done inside. Coming in now, as you remember, this front room was just the office library that had the 1 table, chair, and the 2 etagers, one in this corner, one in this corner. And we have literally transformed this room now into a very open, inviting office/library that can be used as a home office or just a reading area, a study, homework area, or a formal library if we wanted to add more bookcases in here. All of the furnishings in here have been acquired from DI, which is Deseret Industries, Goodwill, and Savers, and from Down East Home and Down East Home tent sale when they have their biannual tent sale. So a lot of the stuff in this room was found in all these different places, but because we are following along the concept of hip, neutrality, interesting shapes and forms brought together to form a signature, even though this was purchased at a lot of different timelines, pulled together in this environment, it just works. So let's come out here now and talk a little bit about what's going on in the entryway. Heretofore there was the big black dresser here, which you remember me saying I loved. We'd actually moved that into the master bedroom for our photography, and just this morning somebody came on from KSL from it being advertised and bought it. So it's no longer here. But just the flow of traffic in and out of the front door, being able to open this door and open it all the way. The door was actually stopping right here at this last tile, and you could not open it all the way because that cabinet was right here. So we replaced it with some fun artwork in here, large overscale statement pieces, and we're going to talk a little bit about these in the following videos when we get to that point, when we get through the house. So moving this way, we're going to talk about this niche. This is where the grandfather clock was, and again, upscaling and multi-purposing. One of my favorite things, this phone, an original phone. If there was actually a phone outlet, we could plug this in and actually have it work, but the push button dial phone, which I absolutely love, $5 at DI. And all the combination of these things have been purchased at, again, Down East Home, Deseret Industries, Savers, and Goodwill. Moving into the family room area, as you recall, this is the room that I was most excited to get my hands on because this really is the heart of this home. It is the center nucleus room of the space and of the floor plan, and where the family will predominantly gather. Heretofore, there was that huge brown sectional, lounger sectional in here, literally cutting off the room. So it went from here all the way over here, angled over this way, and cut the room off completely over here. So there was no flow of space in and out of this room. It was literally cut off by the huge sectional. There was a TV and a credenza over here, and a few decorative items on the fireplace, but there was nothing warm and inviting, pulling people into this space. We have this fantastic stone, stacked stone and flagstone fireplace over here, and it just was kind of melting into the sectional, swallowing up the space. So all of the furnishings in here have been gathered in a very eclectic design scheme, but upscaling, repurposing, and pulling out the current trends of what's going on today in the design world. We were able to just really pull in from our neutrality that we've got going here some color pops with a $15 original painting found at Deseret Industries and this wool blanket found at Goodwill for $5. So this is literally the only colors and primary colors that we've got going on in this space. And you take these away and the room doesn't have quite as much life. We've got a few greenery pops in here, which you've heard me talk about repeatedly. Greenery is a secret weapon when it comes to adding a little bit of color. But make sure that the greenery that you're using is on trending and that is current with what you're seeing. A really easy fix is by getting just some moss, some green moss, either bright green, like we have here, the bright green reindeer moss, or the regular green moss, and just putting it into containers for greenery. It adds that pop of greenery and looks very contemporary. You'll see a couple items in this room. This table, which we will have on the Fix and Transformation section of Fix.Set.com, you can see the how-to, actually see us acquiring this table from Deseret Industries, and this painting over here, which was our awesome 80s pastel canvas painting that we found and transformed. So you'll see how fabulous they look in this space now that they're done. So moving through here, another really wonderful feature of this home is all of this open berth of area right here. You have a tremendous galley right here to be able to entertain. You have an unobstructed pathway of traffic flow for a myriad of guests. You could have upwards of 50 people in this space and not feel claustrophobic at all. And now with the way that we have staged it, you've got in this main living area 3 distinct living areas for different conversations happening with unobstructed flow moving to all 3 of them. You can have 2 people sitting here conversing, 2 people conversing over here, 2 people conversing over here, and have multiple activities going on in the same space. So we've literally tripled the functionality of this space with just bringing in the correct staging items. So moving on into the kitchen, we had talked about what we're going to do with these stools, because if you take these pillows away, they really just kind of melt into the island, which is fabulous. But we talked about contrast and how important contrast is to bring out features in a home. So by simply just adding some lighter colored neutral pillows, putting them up here, and staging this a little bit with a hint of how wonderful it would be to be sitting here entertaining, or even as a family sitting at the counter for dinner. And then having our dining area here still be very open and accessible. We did cover the table with a drop cloth, and we brought in different chairs, again, to lighten up the space and to add a little bit of substantiality and mass over here. The chairs that were heretofore over here had been the open lattice back like this, which are wonderful, and it's great to have a matching, but this now denotes more of a formal space, and it's separate, and the comfortable nature and padded nature of the chairs makes you want to linger longer. We removed the 2 pieces that were in here, the table over here and the end table over here. They really did not need to be in this space, and created the symmetry in this bay that was necessary now for these chairs to easily be moved in and out. We brought in additional items, decor items for the counter. Remember how we said I was going to bring in some black and white things to pull out that black and white. The black and white looks fabulous with all of these natural light browns and the beautiful granite and the stainless steel. So it just makes everything pop and come to life. Another secret weapon for staging your kitchen is to bring in small lamps for the counter. There are no underlighting cabinet. There's no underlighting in these cabinets for this kitchen. And so these lights actually kind of provide that hint of what it would feel like to have this space lit, as well as bringing your eye from corner to corner makes this feel twice as long again as it would have without the lighting. So let's move over here into the master suite. And just right here already, as we're coming through here with that little hinge break that was on the door, the little bar that keeps the door from opening all the way, without that there, we are able to open this side of the French door all the way and just completely open up and free for ease of flow of traffic this whole area between the wall and the bed. We brought in a different bed. We replaced that king that was here with the queen and allowed way more berth of traffic flow going through this way, as well as now the end table is not smashed up next to the door like it was before. There's still plenty of space on there. And somebody can visualize, you could easily fit a bigger bed in here, but it is not necessary in the staging of a home to actually have as big a bed as possible. As long as people realize that there's plenty of space on either side to expand a bigger bed, then that's really all that's necessary. We moved the grandfather clock from the entry into here. It's a perfect little cubby for it and fits much better in the genre of the bedroom decor than it did in the living room, where we really wanted that to be more of a bold contemporary statement. In here, in this area, the sitting room, we have really created now a little retreat, a master retreat. And any more in master suites, they have to feel special. It has to feel like some place that you need to retreat to be together after a long day's work and to get away from the kids. And so here we've actually created a literal living, small living area here, centered around the fireplace. You can sit here and gather for a late night snack or hot chocolate, looking out of these windows. Winter's right around the corner. December's almost here. Being able to see the snow falling on these trees and the city view beyond is just going to be magnificent. Okay, so we can go downstairs now and talk about that big family room space. Have this wide open area. There have been some exercise equipment down here that has also been sold, leaving the foosball table and the sofa. And then over here we just put a few things in this kitchen area to warm it up. And this lamp is actually upstairs in the master bedroom, and I love that lamp. I love the Tiffany nature of it. It feels warm and inviting and very cozy. And so I wanted to bring it down here to kind of cozy up this space. And so that's what we did with that space. And then over here, I'm excited for you to see the pink bedroom. So, big transformation in here. This was our Barbie pink room. We still have our color pop here with this piece of artwork, a DI piece for $5. And then we just very sparsely put things in here on the walls and counters to warm it up and pull people's eye that direction. The purple bathroom over here, the lavender bathroom, also underwent a very successful transformation with just paint. And I want to remind you that is really the least expensive thing to do when you're getting a house ready to sell, is to try and neutralize it and degenderize it as much as possible so that men and women would feel comfortable living in any room in the home. Now, having said that, we had this little turquoise bluish green room here, and I had all of this fabulous decor in my staging inventory, and so we wanted to keep this room in this color because this is a very trending color right now. You see it everywhere in home decor, and so I wanted somebody to be able to visualize this room, even though it's a little more feminine in nature, of how it can be used home decor wise with this color, that if somebody wanted to use this room similar to what we're doing, they wouldn't necessarily have to paint the walls to do so.